that thou shalt set apart unto the Lord all that openeth the matrix, H7358, and every firstling that cometh of a beast which thou hast. The males shall be the Lord's. And it came to pass, when Pharaoh would hardly let us go, that the Lord slew all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both the firstborn of man, and the firstborn of beast. Therefore I sacrifice to the Lord all that openeth the matrix, H7358 being males, but all the firstborn of my children I redeem. And behold, I have taken the levites from among the children of Israel instead of all the firstborn that openeth the matrix H7358 among the children of Israel. Therefore the levites shall be mine.
Strong's H7358, Rechem, Rechem.
Matrix, womb.
Mystery Babylon and Ancient Egypt, i.e. the fallen angels. Michael Jackson's Remember the Time was a love story, but he wasn't singing to Amon. He was singing to Eddie. I'm going to show you in just a minute. He was acting out a three-part deity. Ta, also pronounced Ptah, but the P is usually silent. Sokar Osiris. Sokar is a falcon-headed god with a horn crown. Right before they show you Eddie, they show you the falcon. The falcon is also used to represent Horus, which is why Eddie has the eye of Horus on his collar, which I'm getting to in just a second. Osiris is the god of the afterlife, so that's why Mike appears here dressed as the Grim Reaper. He then turns himself into an image of gold. He's now become the god Ta, or Ptah. He was the god of craftsmen and sculptors and was often pictured in gold. He's the inspiration for the Oscar, which also sounds a lot like Sokar, Oscar. In this next clip, you can hear him pronouncing his name both ways, Ptah and Ta. The video starts with cats. There's cats throughout the video because the cat represents the love interest. Sekhmet was the consort or wife of Ta. She was a cat-headed deity. Notice how that cat is directly in front of Eddie. He pointed directly at Eddie. Watch his hand movements. Not you, you Eddie. And did you notice how he made eye contact with him? Look at the X and O on the apron for hugs and kisses. Mike runs off and then he turns into Osiris. Pay attention to the crossed arms, the beard, and the hat. Arms, beard, hat. He's getting ready to show you what happened between Set and Horus. Set was the brother to Osiris. He defiled Osiris' son Horus, his nephew, in an unspeakable way. Aleister Crowley would say the eye of Horus is better than the mouth of Isis, Isis being female. And as you can see here, he's also represented by a falcon. And remember, Eddie had the eye of Horus and the falcon. That's what they're showing you here, the eye of Horus, Mike in the middle being the pupil. But before the women assemble around him, watch how he touches the child on the head right here and points up to the sky. How crazy is it that they call school-age children pupil? Let me explain what that means.
This is the eye of Lucifer. But believe it or not, it corresponds to a human organ that, for lack of a more delicate term, we'll call the rectum, which is kind of ironic when you think about it. This represents Lucifer. And what this refers to is that the occult archaeometric doctrine of Masonry is that by accessing alternate universes through sodomy, especially of young boys, you can access alternate dimensions of reality through what are called the tunnels of Typhon. There is a belief that through this sexual perversion, they can access these tunnels into alternate universes, alternate realities. And the goal of this kind of magic is to find your own universe and become the God over that universe. This buys into the modern day physics theory that there's many, many dimensions of reality. I maybe you've read about that. Alternate universes. It shows up in science fiction a lot. And then once you're the God of this universe, you can start sucking the energy out of it. And you can use that energy through this child to live forever and ever and ever. And
here's Aleister Crowley dressed as Osiris.
Strong's H 7358. Rechem, Rechem.
Womb, matrix, womb.
Pose, the Black Panther being one of them. Mike, like most of Hollywood, was a follower of Crowley, though he advertised it in subtle ways. Look at the 777 on his arm. He did that to give nod to one of Crowley's most popular books, 777 and Other Kabbalistic Writings. This quote inspired one of Mike's greatest albums. Notice that last paragraph says, more dangerous. This is the album cover for Dangerous. That's Crowley over to the right at the bottom. And that's Mike's hand holding a small child. But look how the video ends. They show you the cat. Then they're going to show you Eddie because Eddie represents the cat. And then Michael turns back